And a welcome to you inside Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria. It's time for Bradley basketball, and tonight we got a good one for you. It's the Braves welcoming in the San Francisco Dons. And we welcome you into the broadcast now with Chad Klein. Stepping down, woke up this morning, wasn't sure, showcasing your versatility. You're going to be doing some TV with me here this evening. I'm Brian Vito, and Chad, you look at these two teams, every game's special, right? We have fun with them all, but there's a couple of games that before the season you really circle on the calendar. This was one for me. You have two great teams with a ton of aspiration this season. Should be in store for a good one here tonight.
Yeah, you're always looking for those non-conference opportunities. This is another one for Bradley. Honestly, you look at San Francisco at Bradley, you almost see mirror images of one another. Two teams that use the three a lot, but also have the ability to get to the basket.
Well, let's take a look at the keys for tonight's contest. First, starting with the Dons, and you just talked about the ability to shoot the three. That's something that the Dons can't allow. Yeah,
they shoot the three a lot, and they use that to key into their other parts of their offense. Obviously, Malik Thomas and Marcus Williams are the two-headed snake on the outside with the ability to knock down the three, but they also have a freshman comes off the bench and Ryan Beasley that can knock it down as well.
Yeah, no question about it. And on the flip side, you look at these specific keys and what San Francisco's done. They've yet to play a true road contest, so that's another focus for them tonight. And then you talked about the guards and how good they've been, and you'll need that containment from the Braves as well tonight.
Always a hostile crowd is a difficult environment to play in. If you haven't had an opportunity coming into a big game, that can work in favor of Bradley tonight. But don't let the San Francisco
All right, Chad, we're about ready to get rolling here on a really good crowd here on a Wednesday night in Central Illinois. Crowd hyped up for this one, as I just mentioned a moment ago. Really fired up for this matchup before the season. These two teams projected to be where they're basically at to this point with a strong record. Both teams come in with just 2 losses on the season. San Francisco at 9-2, Bradley at 8-2. Two teams that hope and expect to be in their conference championship races throughout the course of the season. And you know, if you're the Braves and you look at a team like San Francisco who's coming off an impressive win against Loyola, talked about the crowd, winning at Carver Arena, protecting home court is something this team and this program has done, and they're going to have to do it again tonight against a really good program.
Yeah, Bradley's been very successful at home. They're undefeated so far this year. They've used the crowd to their benefit, and the crowd has been great when Bradley's been at home. So you want to use that advantage as much as possible. For San Francisco, they've just got to block it out of their mind. You know, it's just the opposite. Bradley wants that enthusiasm. San Francisco wants to block it out.
As we take a look at the starting lineups here in a minute, we can tell you and spoil it for you before we get you the graphic that there is a change in the Bradley starting lineup. Corey Thomas is going to get the start for the Braves. This is the first time this year we've had a different look at a starting 5 for the Braves. They had 5 different players averaging in double figures in that starting lineup, but Corey Thomas provides a little bit of a different look against some of these larger size teams like we saw with Santa Clara the other night. You have it against San Francisco again tonight, that height. He's got some good activity around the rim, and they're excited to see what he can do here this evening.
Yeah, as good of as an offensive player as Almar Atlason is, his defense is still coming along, and Corey Thomas has shown he not only can play offense but defense as well. I think you're seeing this change because of his physicality, because of his athleticism, all the things that Bradley needs on the defensive end to improve that, set the tone early in the game.
And you'll see the typical rotation after that for the Braves as they continue to iron things out, both rotation-wise, schematically, and the group in general, just like San Francisco, as we have just 2 non-conference games remaining, including this one, before the conference restart on December the 29th at home against Valparaiso. Bradley leads the all-time series between these two schools 4-2. The 7th all-time matchup between these two programs is underway as the Braves control the tip.
Well, you talked about a lineup change. San Francisco did a lineup change as well. Newberry, the normal starter today. Wang is the starter for San Francisco.
Montgomery is off the mark, punched out by Thomas. You see that activity early, but it will go back over to the Dons. As I touched on in the open, San Francisco coming off a 76-66 neutral court winner against Loyola in Milwaukee.
And for Bradley, it's really going to be about stopping Malik Thomas and Williams on the guards for San Francisco. Malik Thomas coming off travel there by Wang, but Malik Thomas coming off of a career high. I believe he had 33 points at Loyola just a few days ago.
Yeah, containing those two, they really can get it going and get it going in a hurry offensively. Also excellent on the defensive end. 21st in the country in effective field goal percentage defense are the Dons. Bradley, of course, number 2 in the country offensively, so something's got to give here tonight. Dean splashes one home, coming off a 23-point performance against Santa Clara. It was his birthday yesterday, and he comes and knocks down his first jumper here today.
Well, no ill effects left over from the head injury he suffered a couple games ago. Had a break. He came back last game and was fine. Obviously, no ill effects here.
Good size advantage underneath, but Williams couldn't finish.
Not uncommon. Teams attack Bradley. Duke Dean especially in the post because of his size. Good help side that time by Bradley.
It's going to go on Lingard.
Yeah, he has some issues with foul trouble. He kind of likes to push around and so forth. Got caught there with a cheap one.
Hannah out on the wing, getting his hand in the passing lane is Williams. This is a team that will force some turnovers, and they turn it right back over on the other end. Yeah,
Williams did a great job of attacking the passing lane there. Got the turnover, but tried to get the break going a little too fast. Turned it right back over.
San Francisco preseason 4th in the WCC. As Dean gets a step. Back up top for Hannah, again starting at the 4, finds Thomas underneath, and he lost it on his way up.
Sure looked like he got bumped. No call by the officials.
Williams, the senior out of Dickinson, Texas. There's Lingard, the 7-footer. Hands to Thomas. Lingard, he does attempt those. And there's Hannah with the rebound.
Yeah, much like Bradley, San Francisco has 4 or 5 guys on the court at any one time that can shoot the 3-ball.
Flipped ahead in transition. Here's Riley with the flush on the other end.
And again, active hands by San Francisco. You've seen it early. Almost got one turnover before that. That time they get it and convert and transition.
Good dribble penetration. Now Hannah gets his man in the air, goes up, and a little too soft. And Williams the rebound.
Transition D is going to be key for Bradley today. Was not very good last time out, and transition D got beat multiple times. San Francisco likes to run it.
As Thomas with the step back jumper knocks it down.
And get quick offense, but there, Thomas has the ability to not only get quick opportunities, but he can create his own shot as well.
That's going to be off Davis.
Another turnover by Bradley.
And Atlason's going to come in for Thomas. Atlison, the 6'8" sophomore.
So far here early on, San Francisco has had very active hands on the defensive end. Leads to the dunk there by Riley in the fast break. Williams coming off with the 3. Little short.
Davis the rebound. Atlison gets a step, and he's bumped on his way in. Good penetration by the sophomore. He's always a threat. Opportunity to run his defender off the line. It's shooting 42% from 3 on the year, improving upon his magnificent freshman season when he shot over 41.
What do we know about teams that like to get out in transition? They're usually susceptible to transition themselves. Bradley takes advantage of a quick opportunity and gets a foul in transition.
Davis takes the handoff from Hannah. Step back from 3. And that one knocked down. Davis has been unbelievable from 3. To start the year, couldn't connect on his first triple here tonight.
Oh, that's a hook. That's an easy call by the official. Malik Thomas being a little aggressive with his back down. Throws the chicken wing out there and gets caught by the official. That was an easy call.
The first on Thomas. Lingard already has 2, which is why he's already on the bench for the Dons. And Dean will bring it up. He's got the lone bucket so far for Bradley. Back to Dean. Good pump fake. All the time in the world, but he couldn't connect. Wong the rebound.
Yeah, USF likes to switch up and go to a 1-3-1 periodically. They did it there. Bradley seemed to attack it pretty well. Got a good open look, just not able to knock it down.
Williams, good close by Dean. He's held up, gives to Malik Thomas. Williams left wing three. No, tipped up in the air by Wong. Thomas collects.
And I'll be honest with you, the Loyola game, Wong did this a lot in the second half especially, which is probably why he's starting tonight. His activity on the offensive glass really good for the Dons.
And it leads to a second chance three-pointer from Malik Thomas, who came in averaging just under 19 a game. Atlason can answer at the other end and does.
You know, sometimes a player comes off or gets a change, gets put out of the starting lineup. They struggle coming in. No effects there for Almar Atlason. Comes right in, does what he does best, which is shoot the three.
Here's Ryan Beasley, who checked in, younger brother of Robbie Beasley, the senior for the Dons. James O'Donnell in as well. Hands to Williams on the pick and roll.
Oh, he walked. Yeah, got away with one there.
Didn't come back to haunt the Braves, however, as Montgomery will bring it up on this trip. Good cut going opposite the screen. Here's Dean, lob to Hanna, who can't finish.
Good hands by Beasley down low. Basically got a hand on that. Allowed Hanna not to get a clean look. And again, talk about transition defense. The Dons take a mistake by Bradley on the other end, missing a shot, go the other way and get an and one.
Dons by 4 early here in Peoria.
BK melts, wanna warm up, this sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
From tried and true to try something new. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
We ready?
I need to get me a new phone.
You need to trade in that old busted up phone. You can get you a brand new iPhone 16 Pro from T-Mobile. It's on them. At T-Mobile, it's better over here. Families save 20% every month. What a deal.
To all you new and existing customers, trade in your busted old phone, and T-Mobile will give you a brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus, families can save 20% when they switch.
T-Mobile is one of none. Go get that.
What he said.
And Doug.
Whoa, Limu, we're in a parade. Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save.
And then I wake up.
And you have the stream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Back here in Peoria, San Francisco out to a 9-5 lead over Bradley. Get a look at the Dons huddle, and in there in the midst somewhere is Chris Gerlofson. In his 3rd year as the head coach of the Dons, he's led this group to 7 straight winning seasons, you see in the graphic there. They made it to the WCC semis last year for the 3rd straight seasons. And again, this is a conference, one of the best mid-major, if you want to call it that, conferences in the country, with Gonzaga, Santa Clara, who you just saw, the Braves take on last weekend, St. Mary's as well, and a team that's projected to be in the mix to play deep into that conference tournament once again.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch these two teams, and I talked about a little bit of a mirror. Both teams in the NIT last year, both teams trying to get to that next level, get the NCAA tournament. And how do they do that is, ironically, playing each other this year. You know, a team that comes out of this has a better look at an NCAA non-conference win, and those quad 1, quad 2 wins are very important.
Yeah, to your point, both teams look at this as an opportunity to gain a signature win.
No question.
Again, as I mentioned before, we talked in the open, the Braves have been just on fire here at home. 42-6 the last few seasons. Undefeated, obviously, this year. 6-game home winning streak. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Demarion Birch.
You can see very early on, San Francisco's pushing out Bradley's offense. Has not been able to get into any type of rhythm. Good job by the Dons. Hands in the passing lanes. Really aggressive on-ball defense. Bradley's got to find a way to crack the shell.
Beasley, the sophomore from San Ramon, California. Freshman of the year in the WCC last year. That's a travel on Thomas.
Yeah, that's 2 times. A little bit. First time he threw out the chicken wing, got a foul. That time a little too eager to get to his spot and just takes a couple extra steps.
So Duke will bring it up. He's got 2 of the Braves' 5. Gets the ball screen from Montgomery. Pops up. Now Birch. Back to Montgomery. He's got a step. He's deadly from there, not this time. Thomas tries to keep it alive, and Malik Thomas for San Francisco throws it off Corey Thomas for Bradley, and it'll be Dons basketball.
Again, credit to the USF Dons. They're doing a great job defensively, pushing out Bradley, getting them out of their rhythm. Zeke Montgomery likes that little back down jump shot. They push him out another foot or 2, and he's not able to connect. And here's Beasley, who really was an instant offense for them at Loyola the other night. Came off the bench, especially in the second half, and kind of took over for the Dons.
Back to Allison. He hit one there a moment ago, closed out well by Abosi. Drawing the double team is Dean. He turns it over. Abosi wasn't ready for it, and that's going to be a travel, I believe, on Riley, and it is.
Yeah, probably a good thing there because you could have gotten a flop also. They call the travel first. Again, another turnover by Bradley. Good active hands by San Francisco. Bradley's got to do a better job protecting the ball. And Coach Wardle making some significant changes here. Just not real happy with how Bradley's come out here early in the first half.
First action of the night for Jaquan Johnson. Hannah and Davis also back in. Johnson, the terrific freshman from Milwaukee. Received by Corey Thomas. Hands to Davis for 3. 5th in the nation coming in three-point percentage. He's actually went down a little bit after going 1 of 2. Finger roll off the glass. Good touch by Marcus Williams.
So good, not only at the three-point shot, but when you overplay the three-point shot, they put it on the floor, and they're very good at getting to the basket and finishing.
That's his first field goal. Thomas leading the way. He's got 8 of the Dons' 12. A burst by Birch, and Thomas is fouled as Demarion Birch, so good at getting through traffic, draws that extra defender, finds Thomas, and 2 shots forthcoming. When we come back, 11:56 remaining here in the first half. San Francisco with a 4-point lead.
This is a nightmare.
Someone call for a nightmare? Hang on. That's your nightmare? Some roof damage? I'm a professional. I deal with real nightmares. You just need to sing the State Farm jingle.
State Farm jingle?
Do it!
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm can help with your claim. We're here when you need us.
Great. Can you get rid of it?
Ooh, who we getting rid of? Wait.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to the Playground Showdown. On today's field, we have Mom versus her pint-sized powerhouse Timmy. Mom takes off like a blur, and oh, looks like she's hurt her foot, and is now showing us an impromptu dance.
Whether your game is on the basketball court or the playground, get back to it with world-class orthopedic care. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics, official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics. Find care now at osfhealthcare.org/orthocare.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs a big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy.
Choose Flex Buy on F-150 and get 1.9% for 66 months plus 1,000 Flex Buy cash and 1,000 holiday bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Brian Vito, Chad Klein with you tonight. Bradley with a 4-point deficit. You look at Brian Wardle now in his 10th year. 261 total wins, 166 here at Bradley. 87 Valley wins. Picked up his first of the season this year against SIU. The Braves will take on Valpo a week from Sunday, just 4 behind. The legend Joe Stoll for second all time. And we talked about how he and his staff have made this such a home court advantage. Ken Palm has as the 12th best home court advantage in college basketball. But one of the things that doesn't really, you don't hear a lot about is how well this team typically, his teams respond after a loss. And they only have 3 back-to-back loss. They've only lost back-to-back games 3 times the last 3 seasons, which is really remarkable when you think about how they've tested themselves in non-conference with the MTEs, the schedule in general, and then, of course, the grueling schedule of the Valley on top of it.
Well, you and I both know Coach Wardle very well. He's a very competitive guy. Sometimes I think he's more competitive than his players are, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but that's just different generation. And so he takes that stuff personally, and when he's not feeling good about a loss, his players definitely don't feel good about a loss. And they respond to his enthusiasm, constructive criticisms, whatever you want to call it, but they respond.
And the proof has been in the pudding with some of the statistics there, and they respond after the timeout. Good hustle by Thomas and Birch to keep it in Bradley's possession. Thomas looking for help, goes backdoor to Davis, and he missed it. And he pads his stats, though, with some offensive rebounds, and he lays it in.
So how do you beat a team that's basically pushing you out on the wings? Their hands are in the passing lane. Fakes, backdoor cuts. Bradley gets one there, takes advantage of the over-aggressiveness in the passing lanes, gets the backdoor for Davis. Now, it wasn't as clean as you'd like. Took 3 shots to get it in, but they did get it in. But this is the San Francisco way.
Yep.
Just because Bradley scores, transition defense is going to be key throughout the night. San Francisco already has 5 points off fast breaks. They will attack on makes or misses. That's why we talked about transition defense being so important.
And they do it with their style, but also they know that Bradley in the half court, historically, they make you play offense for almost 30 seconds. Both these teams are so good at making the opposition go deep into the shot clock. As O'Donnell, who's now just 4 of 13 from the foul line this year.
Yeah, I think the Bradley crowd knows that as well.
They want some pizza.
Sorry, that kind of...
And they got it.
We stopped your point midway because the Bradley crowd was into that free throw, and now they're saying a lane violation.
Oh, no. You take a point off the board, that's one thing. But then you take away pizza?
Pizza!
Wow. Officials sometimes aren't the most popular people in the building, but now they're really not.
Oh! And justice is served.
Do they get 2 pizzas now or what?
I believe it's just 1.
More importantly for the Braves, they get an empty trip on the other end. Trying to take the lead here early. Johnson off the ball screen, pulls up. Too strong, Williams the board.
Like
another trap.
Johnson.
Say,
oh, wow.
Oh, no, they got it on, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I thought Johnson possessed it before he made any contact.
Yeah,
that's going to go
Thomas
on
That's his second foul. That is his second foul. Again, just looks a little over-anxious on the offensive end. Like he wants to get going before sees what's in front of him, before he has the ball.
So that's 2 on Thomas.
That's 2 on Thomas and 2 on Lingard.
Yep. And Jaquan Johnson, who now with his 16th steal, that's second on the team.
And they just got an offensive foul on Jaquan Johnson.
They're going to get Hannah for the moving screen. You get another look. Oh, nope. This is
the last one. No question. Thomas got his hands in there with the foul.
Here's O'Donnell, the exciting freshman for the Dons. Sydney, Australia, gives to Riley.
Now Williams, is he going to feel pressure? Because now with Thomas on the bench with the 2 fouls, will he try to do too much on the offensive end?
Johnson, hesitation, back out, Atlason, 3.
What makes San Francisco so good is the dual threat of Thomas and Williams together, because they're similar types. They both like to get to the basket. They both can knock down the 3. Now you change it up a little bit, but I'll tell you what, Beasley came in last game, made huge contributions, and there Bradley gets a turnover. Wong a little loose with the basketball.
Love the activity by the Braves on that end. Dean too strong. Williams getting worked like an alley drill by Johnson, still with it. Up top for Wong. Beasley run off the line, tries to float one up, couldn't get it. Atlason the rebound. Both these teams really good at just forcing you into tough 2s. Picking top for Atlason. Goes right side, and it spins off. Lobbed underneath for the size advantage, and nothing Dean could really do there as Riley gets fouled.
Again, transition defense. Bradley a little slow getting back, and San Francisco's taking advantage.
So Tyrone Riley, the 4th, another young freshman that the Dons are excited about, will head to the line. His dad, Tyrone Riley Sr., played for San Francisco as well, 03 to 05, averaged just under 14 points per game. Been a very efficient freshman as well. The top 60 in the nation in effective field goal percentage. Out of Watts, California. Comes up empty on the first trip.
How nice is it as a team? You have the freshman of the year that comes back in Ryan Beasley, and he's coming off the bench because of how Riley has played early on in the season. Both of these teams, Bradley and San Francisco, both have fairly deep benches that they can go to. They can change up the parts and really not drop off.
Yeah, the depth really stands out for both. We keep bringing up comparisons as far as how they mirror each other, and that's just another example. Dean finds Atlason, right side 3 is short. Wong able to keep it in to Abosi. If you're just joining us, San Francisco has led the majority of the way, but not by much. Williams in the lane. Good box out by Thomas, and that allows Dean to get underneath it. Dean off the screen, gets space. Batted out by Thomas. Here's Birch. Dean is fouled.
I believe that's Williams coming around behind. It is.
Oh, no, it's his first. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 7:48 to go. San Francisco 13, Bradley 11. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Hosting a holiday feast? Let Popeyes cook something everyone will love. Serving it as a home-cooked meal can be our little secret. This year, take a holiday from cooking with Popeyes Festive Family Box.
A lot of people think banks only care about profits. But at SEFQ, we're not a bank. We're better. That's why in 2024, we gave back $55 million to members through an extraordinary dividend. Really? Yes, really. That brings our total to over $500 million and counting. Whether you borrow, save, or make everyday purchases using your debit card, it all counts. Because you count.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on an efficient CR-V hybrid, spirited Accord hybrid, sporty Civic hybrid, and the all-electric Prologue. Don't wait. Turn your dreams into reality with a new Honda, named KBB.com's best overall EV and hybrid brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they? Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. US Cellular.
Hard to believe you can get all this in just 2 minutes. Well, you know what they say, tasting is believing. Factor, all your meals made easy.
Brian Beto, Chad Klein with you, 13-11, San Francisco on top. Of course, I mentioned the Braves coming off a loss against Santa Clara. Now we're at the point in the year we're 10 games in, and I talked to Coach Brian Worley. He talks about his 10-game tweaks, meaning that they'll make some adjustments tactically to different parts of the team's identity and game. Not tweaking the identity, but like, hey, for example, we need to get better in this area. Maybe it's rebounding. We can make some tweaks tactically to do so. They do it every year. I remember around this time last year, the Braves were not where they wanted to be from a team rebounding perspective. They made some tweaks tactically. They got so much better throughout the course of the year, and they feel that 10 games is enough sample size, Chad, where you could start to get an idea of some areas that you excel in, some areas of opportunity. And that's the exciting part, is that this team's 8-2. They're nowhere near where they could be, and they haven't peaked yet. And we know that the track record of this program is that they get better throughout the course of the year.
What has made Bradley so good and so consistent over the last, basically Coach Wardle's tenure, is he is all about process. Good practice leads to good gameplay or opportunities. Let's talk about Thomas, for instance, for Bradley, a tweak in the starting lineup, changing it up. Now, what also usually happens after 10 games? You have winter break. So now you're done with finals. You can now just focus on what you're here to do, which is play basketball. And that means you have a lot of practice time. You'll have a lot of one-on-one engagement with the coaches during this time. So you take what you've learned in the early non-conference schedule, and you're right. You have those opportunities now to make tweaks to the lineup, make tweaks to how you're attacking their opponents. Because also understand, every game is a moving engine. A team attacks and then the other team adjusts. How are teams adjusting to you? So you have to make tweaks in how teams are looking at you and playing against you.
Yeah, no question about it. And as Thomas gets us the flush to the other end, Wong has it stripped by Thomas, but he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. And again, it's only 13 minutes. We talked about the rebounding example. Braves doing a great job on the defensive glass here tonight. Just 1 offensive rebound for the Dons here in the first 13 plus. As Wong will shoot 2. As a team, San Francisco 2 of 5 from the stripe. And they came in at 69% in that category in the first month and a half of the season.
Bradley getting a little taste of its own medicine right now from San Francisco. They're used to being a team that has 4 or 5 guys on the floor that can shoot threes at any one time. San Francisco can do the same thing, and Wong does a nice job in that. Not only does he shoot threes, but he's got that bulk to attack the basket, and there he gets to the line. Doesn't get the end one, but he's got 2 shots here.
And getting the start tonight for San Francisco, goes 1 of 2. Thomas. Now Montgomery The sophomore Birch out of Milwaukee gives to Montgomery. Thomas thinks about a three, instead spins, is cut off. Back to Birch, 7 to shoot. Birch launches and connects from 2. Long 2, foot was on the line, but Bradley does have a 1-point lead. Rivera Torres out to Wong. And again, only white jerseys around.
And that's the other aspect of Wong's game. He took to the basket last time, has that ability to shoot the three as well.
Johnson wisely kicks it out. Birch gets the ball screen. Johnson cutting to the wing. Again, deep in the shot clock. We talked about it. Both teams really good defensively at forcing this. Montgomery can create. And shows why there.
In some ways, there's times where I think he is better outside of the offense, creating his own shot. He's done a real good job of working within the offense this season, but this is kind of his style.
He's been so efficient offensively this year. Riley has it bounce out, and great work by Rivera Torres, the redshirt senior out of Jersey City, to clean it up on the glass. Zipped in the corner. Good ball movement by the Braves. Good recovery by the Dons.
Recovery by San Francisco.
It doesn't matter as Montgomery splashes in a three.
Well, the important thing for Bradley as you hear this crowd start to get into it is Bradley's fans kind of help feed this. You get that feeling, you start seeing the shots drop a little bit, and I'll tell you what's interesting about this Bradley squad, there isn't a bad shooter on this team, and they feed off of each other. Once one gets going, it seems like the whole team gets going.
Last time they took to this court, they set a program record for threes made with 21. They force a tie-up and a jump ball. It'll stay with San Francisco. 9 on the shot clock. Hanna and Davis back in.
Great technique that time by Zeke Montgomery. What happens a lot of times when guys reach in? They reach in with one hand and slap down. He goes in with both hands, grabbing the ball, so whether he fouls or not is irrelevant. It looks like he's got the ball and gets the jump ball call. Guys so often go in and slap down or slap up, and officials see that, and whether it's a foul or not, they call it.
Every time. They got to go in a hurry to the Dons. Davis, an outstanding on-the-ball defender, on an outstanding offensive player, and a whistle and a foul is going to go on Hanna. That's the 8th on Bradley in the half, so it'll be 1 in the bonus for the Dons.
San Francisco has been so good on getting their hands on the ball. There they get an opportunity because of attacking the offensive glass. They don't get the board, but they create enough contact to get the foul. On the defensive end, their hands are in the lane. Bradley has not gotten into any type of rhythm offensively until recently, because San Francisco's been very good at deflections, which breaks up the rhythm of a team.
The Braves with some clean possessions on the other end as of late. It's helped spark this now 3-point lead as O'Donnell knocks down the front end, averaging just over 3 points per game. San Francisco as a team, you look at the score and you're thinking 2017, not a lot of scoring so far. San Francisco's limited opponents to just 62 points per game on the season. The second one is no good. Hanna is there. We get the rebound, and Johnson, who's played very well off the bench here, as Duke Dean has 2 fouls here in the first half, getting extended minutes.
Johnson has really been a breath of fresh air for Bradley. His quickness, I'll tell you, you watch on TV, his hand quickness. He's gotten so many steals.
16 of them.
Just because of how quick his hands are, and he's on the floor. And that history as a running back in high school serves him well on the offensive end, because so many times he plants the 1 foot, and by the time you realize it, he's by you into the basket.
Let's see if he makes you look good here. Not quite.
He tried.
And Thomas the rebound.
I believe that's his only 3rd 3-point attempt on the season.
It is.
has that ability, but he's known more for getting to the basket and creating for himself and others.
Williams sidesteps a three. That's down to tie it at 20.
And San Francisco does that a lot. Their ability to attack the basket and get to the basket creates their open looks for three-point shots.
The Braves have limited the Dons to just 2 of 11 from 3 here in the first half.
San Francisco looks like they've switched back to that 1-3-1. It's kind of a amoeba type of defense where it starts out as a 1-3-1 and about halfway through the shot clock they switch back to a man-to-man. Can cause problems for offenses if you're not prepared for it.
No problem for Hanna, at least on that trip, as he splashes home the jumper. We get a 2-point lead back for the Braves. Hesitation dribble by Williams, count it, and the foul. Crafty move by the veteran senior Marcus Williams, who will shoot one in the bonus, or I should say and one when we come back to try and give San Francisco the lead back with 2:19 to go here in Peoria in the first half.
There's one quality we all want from an auto repair shop. Honesty, right? At Peoria Tire and Vulcanizing, everything we do is to earn your trust. Whether changing your car's oil, putting new tires on your tractor, or maintaining your commercial vehicles, we do it with integrity at Peoria Tire, like we've done for 100 years. Give us a call right now, and we'll get you set up with an appointment. Honesty, the original way to do business. From the original Peoria Tire.
Since 1991, St. Louis has served as the gateway to the best men's basketball tournaments. Arch Madness. Experience buzzer beaters, madness, and Missouri Valley Conference glory. And it begins here. The 2025 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament, presented by Credit Union One and Great Southern Bank, tips off March 6th through the 9th. Celebrate 35 years of Arch Madness. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Welcome to the Playground Showdown. On today's field, we have Mom versus her pint-sized powerhouse Timmy. Mom takes off like a blur, and oh, looks like she's hurt her foot, and is now showing us an impromptu dance.
Whether your game is on the basketball court or the playground, get back to it with world-class orthopedic care. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics, official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics. Find care now at osfhealthcare.org/orthocare.
$2:19 to go in the half. Back and forth contest so far. It's lived up to its billing between Bradley and San Francisco. Neither team has led by more than 5 points in this one. Brian Beto and Chad Klein. I'd be remiss if we didn't bring this up. Earlier today, the MVC announced 6 new Hall of Fame inductees for the league. One of them, Bradley basketball's own Marcellus Somerville, inducted into the MVC Hall of Fame. We know all about what he's done recently with the community and Peoria basketball in general, but we can even just pinpoint his time here as a player, and just a remarkable basketball player from 2003 to 2006. Of course, part of the Sweet 16 theme in 2006. I think that what I can remember, the only player the active player that had their own bobblehead night while he was still playing. He went off in that game too. It's like he went on a personal 14-0 run, I want to say, to start the game in his bobblehead night. But very exciting to see Marcellus get the honor. Very well deserved. Terrific player, terrific basketball player.
Yeah, I can't say enough, because you think about that season, and really that Bradley team was struggling. When you got into the first of the year, it was looking, they finished, I believe, 4th in the conference that year, and they had to work to get to that point, and then they just got on a hot streak. Marcellus Somerville being a large part of that, but it's one of those things as you build chemistry as a team, and he is such a leader. He's done so much for Bradley while he was here. Obviously, his scoring, his rebounding, he did everything on and off the floor, but now off the floor, he is such a big leader in the community for what he does for his work here in Peoria.
Yeah, there's no question, and he's synonymous with the school and the program, and very exciting to see him get recognized by the league here today.
And the thing I didn't even bring up is, one, he had a great professional career overseas, Not to mention, I don't remember if you remember Always a Brave.
Yeah, TBT.
Which was the TBT that brought that Bradley team that from 2006, most of that team back together and made a run to the semifinal. And if it weren't for an unfortunate injury to Ruffin, where he blew out his Achilles in the semifinal, they probably could have won it that year.
Yeah, no question. And then later on with that group was mixed in with some of the more recent Braves as well. So it was good to see them merge those two eras
It was
together.
kind of the revitalization of this Bradley basketball program, to be honest with you, because if you remember, that was right around that mid 2014, 2015 time period where those guys came back. And it was also as Coach Wardle was basically brand new to Bradley at that time, and really bringing those guys back helped kind of revitalize this Bradley program, and Coach Wardle has just taken it and run.
Yeah, there's no question about it. As getting back to action here, the Braves has really good work breaking down that defense by Riley. Good touch on the reverse layup as the Braves switched up defensively on that trip.
Yeah, they switched to a 2-3 zone. They do that from time to time just to give a different look, try and break the rhythm of the opponent.
Backing his way in is Montgomery. Tried to find Thomas, but not giving any ground was Tyrone Riley with that length.
And again, active hands by this San Francisco team. You watch them on defense, something you don't see a lot in a lot of programs anymore. All their guys have their hands up. So many deflections for them in this first half. Haven't gotten a lot of steals, but the deflections have done enough to take Bradley out of their rhythm.
Really good defense and individual rebounding by Corey Thomas. And sprinting up is Montgomery. Allison left all alone. You can't do that.
Well, San Francisco got lost in transition. And Coach Wardle looks at Almar Allison. That's what you're out here to do, son. Your job is to come out here and shoot the ball. Now, I guarantee he's also talking to him about defense on the other end, because that's where he is still developing as a player.
Big three from Atlason, and the first half, use it or lose it, is taken here with 50.4 to go. And the Braves seesawing back to a 1-point lead for Atlason. His second triple of the half. He's got 6. That actually leads all Bradley scorers. This has been a very balanced offensive group this season, and it's been that way again here today, as 7 different Braves have scored. And you look at the flip side, the Dons, and it's the two that you typically see at the top. You have Malik Thomas with 8 and Marcus Williams with 7 for San Francisco.
Yeah, the team's basically playing to their strengths. For Bradley, it's their ability to, basically it doesn't matter who you go to. It's who's hot on that particular night. As you prepare for these games, you look at the shooting percentages for these Bradley Braves. There's only a few guys that are under 40% from the field, and also 40% from three-point range.
Right.
That makes a difficult task for another team to match up against, because you don't know who to key on. For San Francisco, you know who to key on. The problem is it's very difficult to stop, even though you know it's coming.
And Wong knocks down a 3 out of the timeout quickly, and now the Braves will
call a quick timeout. Coach
use their
Wardle's
losing.
very good at coming out of timeouts with a positive play. Wants to get some momentum going into halftime.
So Chris Gerlifson draws up his play here, and that clearly works. Bradley will have a chance to answer with the chess mats on the other end. And good work by the Braves bench. 27% of their points coming in to tonight has come from the bench, and they've needed them here tonight with Dean, Hannah, each with 2 fouls. Same with Atlason, who we just had that 3 with 2 fouls as well, as you get another look at this last possession by the Dons.
Yeah, the Dons seem to use their bench more for the defensive side of things. Bradley uses it for the offensive side. There is no drop-off on this offensive side for Bradley when you hit the bench. It's just a different piece, and how do you have to defend it, which can create problems for the opponent. So far, San Francisco's done a nice job. Again, their active hands, their ability to deflect the basketball, their length in general has caused problems for the Bradley Braves.
Let's see what they get out of the timeout. Duke Dean back into the ball game here with about a 6-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Hannah steps out to receive it, had it deflected. 6 to shoot. He's going to go one-on-one, crossing over O'Donnell, had it blocked, gets it back. And was waiting for some sort of whistle or
it
call.
really seems like there should have been some contact. The first one I thought was a clean shot.
Me too.
But the second one, it really appeared that O'Donnell kind of walked underneath him on the shot. No foul call by the official. That's a good block, but watch this. He continues to walk under him. That's a foul missed by the officials. And now Coach Wardle wisely gets Duke Dean and Darius Hanna off the floor. Both have 2 fouls. You don't want to pick up a quick one here.
And San Francisco is going to go to their instant offense, as you referred to, Chad, earlier, with Beasley coming back in. They get it into Williams, guarded by Birch. He lost it on his way in, gets it to Wong. Good if it goes, it will not.
Yeah, Coach Wardle not happy with that defensive set. You don't want a player to get momentum, that much momentum going down the floor. You want to make them turn once or twice up the floor to slow them down and use up that clock. They got a pretty good shot there to end the half.
That's how the first half comes to an end. We'll step aside, take a timeout, be back to recap it with some first half stats, highlights, and more. You're watching Bradley Braves basketball right here on the Valley on ESPN.
Well, put me on the naughty list. This has never happened before. Let's see. And that, people, is why we have Target Circle 360.
Hey, dear! Don't miss anything on your list with unlimited same-day delivery.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
I'll check. Punch.
Yeah, I'll get more.
Uncle Carlos, your heartburn.
I'm going to Walgreens.
This is not just your neighborhood Walgreens.
Wild night, wild family.
This is help staying healthy through the holidays. Walgreens.
Hard to believe you can get this and all of this in just 2 minutes. Or that it arrives at your door fresh and full of flavor. You know what they say, tasting is believing. Factor, all your meals made easy.
They're ready to go, folks. 3, 2, 1.
Bang! Let's go! Come on, big fella. Yeah!
It's time to dunk the halls. Christmas Day at noon.
Back here in Peoria, conference play resumes in just over a week, but believe it or not, Arch Madness will be here before you know it, and it tips off March 6th through the 9th in St. Louis. And the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village is the best place to celebrate before and after games. Visit the MVC Fan Hangout to enjoy Ballpark Village restaurants, entertainment, and everything Arch Madness. For more information, visit archmadness.com and click on Fan Hangouts. Halftime here at Carver Arena. Brian Beto and Chad Klein with you. San Francisco with a minuscule 2-point lead over the Braves. We get a look at the first half highlights. Duke Dean got it going open for the Braves, and then it was kind of back and forth for the rest of that half, Chad.
Yeah, two teams that really, you look at how they come into this game, you hear the word efficiency. For Bradley, offensive efficiency. San Francisco, defensive efficiency. Bradley has not been able to get going until late in the half. They started to find a rhythm. But for San Francisco, this has been their style of game. Low scoring, defensive, solid defense turning into offensive possessions. So really, it's a matter of, can Bradley do enough offensively not only to stay in this game? I think they feel good only being down 2 points because they have not played their best basketball yet.
Yeah, I think they got to be really happy with their defensive effort in that first half. And to your point, they haven't shot as efficiently as we've seen throughout the course of the season. So the fact that they're only down 2, Braves have some positives to take into the second half.
Well, and the other part of that is sometimes in the 2 losses Bradley's had, they've struggled on the defensive end.
Yep.
They have been solid so far here in the first half.
Yeah, they didn't dig themselves a hole like they did in the first half against Santa Clara, where they didn't shoot as well, but the defense wasn't up to par like it is tonight.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for any team. When you're struggling offensively, it will impact your defense because your head starts to go down. Your hands go down on the defensive end. Instead of being in good defensive positions, having your hands up, getting those deflections, getting those opportunities to create more offense, it actually snowballs and makes things worse.
We'll step aside, take a timeout. Be back after this. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Well, put me on the naughty list. This has never happened before. Let's see. And that, people, is why we have Target Circle 360.
Hey, dear! Don't miss anything on your list with unlimited same-day delivery.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hey, college basketball fans.
Your favorite teams and conferences
Are on ESPN+.
You get a stellar slate of in-conference games,
Including the Big 12, Atlantic 10, and many more.
Sign up now and catch your favorite teams.
To the end zone for the touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Mickey only wants one thing for Christmas. For Santa to bring the NBA to Walt Disney World.
We'll start by dressing up Main Street, USA for a live animated game between the Spurs and Knicks. And we'll add a very special halftime dunk contest.
It's time to dunk the halls. Spurs, Knicks, with Mickey and Friends. Christmas Day at noon.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot, you keep it coming. We know a lot about turning nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on. College basketball, it never disappoints.
How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
For the love of football, derbies, ultras, and Humba. And every match on ESPN+.
Nothing like it, the Bundesliga.
For the love of braces and hat-tricks.
With a belter!
Belters and wonder goals.
Oh, that's a wonder goal!
Number 9s and the Torschützenkönig. For the love of the Invincibles.
Leverkusen, unbeaten champions.
For the love of Bundesliga. Exclusively on ESPN+.
It's time to dunk the halls. Christmas Day at noon.
It's time to get in the game and sign up to ESPN+.
Welcome back to Carver Arena. Brian Vito and Chad Klein with you. Happy holidays as well. As just 6 days away from Christmas, believe it or not.
Have you done your Christmas shopping yet?
Thankfully, yes. Thankfully, yes.
You're better
I'd
than
say
me.
when I got my wife, but I think she's watching
Well,
right
you're
now,
better
so
than
I
me.
don't wanna do that. So, you look here, Central Illinois around holiday time, and again, we've talked a lot about this Bradley team here, and here at home specifically, and the Braves, not just this year, we've talked about the last 3 years, 42-6 at home, but really throughout Brian Wardle's tenure and the staff's tenure, they've really established this as just one of the best home court advantages in college basketball. And there's a variety of factors, right? Crowd's been great, community celebration, but the teams that they've instilled in the players to make this a sense of pride, to take care of business here at home, and they've certainly been able to do that.
Well, you talk about a lot of different factors. You know, I used to play for Coach Jim Molinari. Great coach, awesome. And when we were winning, it's wonderful. But when you're playing ugly and you lose, it's not fun to watch. The great thing that Coach Wardle has done with this basketball team, he's put together a team that's really fun to watch up and down the floor. Athletic, ability to do it at different levels, whether it be attack the basket or shoot the three. Defensively, I mean, you just have a nice mixture of guys. But it's a combination of things, and it's not something, you know, it wasn't too long ago in the first years of Coach Wardle that the fan base at Bradley was really struggling. A lot of people were questioning the direction of the program, and Coach Wardle has really come in here and turned it around, not only on the court, but he reaches out to people within the community to make sure this crowd continues to grow.
We got a good crowd here tonight, energetic. They know this is a big one. They know it's an important one, and it's nip and tuck here in the first half. We'll step aside, take a timeout. Back with first half stats after this. You're watching Bradley Braves basketball right here on the Valley on ESPN.
Hosting a holiday feast? Let Popeyes cook something everyone will love. Serving it as a home-cooked meal can be our little secret. This year, take a holiday from cooking with Popeyes Festive Family Box.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Rated Teen.
I've heard it all my life. Don't buy fancy coffee. But here's the thing. I like my daily dose of vanilla latte. With SEFQ's help, I know I'm managing and spending my money in a way that works best for me. And I can keep track of my spending just like that. Boom. Mobile app. I'll take a muffin too. Since I got an account with SEFQ, I'm doing things my way. And that's what really matters. Ooh, that's good.
A lot of people think banks only care about profits, but at SEFQ, we're not a bank. We're better. That's why in 2024, we gave back $55 million to members through an extraordinary dividend. Really? Yes, really. That brings our total to over $500 million and counting. Whether you borrow, save, or make everyday purchases using your debit card, it all counts. Because you count.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on an efficient CR-V hybrid, spirited Accord hybrid, sporty Civic hybrid, and the all-electric Prologue. Don't wait. Turn your dreams into reality with a new Honda, named KBB.com's best overall EV and hybrid brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hard to believe you can get this and all of this in just 2 minutes. Or that it arrives at your door fresh and full of flavor. You know what they say, tasting is believing. Factor, all your meals made easy.
just about ready to get rolling here in the second half of action between Bradley and San Francisco. The Dons with a 2-point lead over the Braves as we get a look at the first half highlights, or excuse me, first half metrics. You already saw the highlights. What am I talking about here? And what are the metrics, Chad? Anything kind of stand out? We talked about just off air about these two teams are efficient offensively, but they also can showcase their efficiency on the defensive end, and that was the case here in the first half.
Yeah, there's no question. Obviously, San Francisco forces teams to shoot a low percentage, so I would say this style of game works in favor of the Dons. Their ability to deflect the ball, not get it. I mean, eight turnovers by both teams in the first half, not super clean. But Bradley cleaned it up and started to get a rhythm as the half went on. But the thing that really kind of hit me with the stats is foul trouble. You know, key players, Malik Thomas, Carlton Lingard for San Francisco have 2 fouls. Darius Hannah, Duke Dean, and Almar Allison have 2 fouls for the Braves. So key players for both teams may have been part of the reason these teams struggled in the first half, that you're changing up your rotations because of foul trouble. Now, luckily nobody has 3 fouls for either team, but you basically, as a coach, are trying to put people on the bench long enough to not pick up that 3rd foul.
Yeah, and Lingard, you mentioned, he played just 3 minutes in that first half. The starting center for the Dons, and then Dean limited to 13. He talked about just 11 for Darius Hannah. Same goes for the Braves. So it felt that they were letting things slip for a little bit, at least with the whistle in the early parts of that first half. That changed throughout the course of that half. So a few key players from both sides to look out to from a foul lens. Offensively and individually, Thomas leading the way for the Dons. He's got 8. Malik Thomas with 8. Marcus Williams with 7 for San Francisco. Leading the way for the Braves, Almar Allison with 6. Brian Beto and Chad Klein with you. Chad showing his versatility again, coming down from the radio booth. A major downgrade for a partner here tonight for you from Dave Snell to me. In for you, in for Christoph Kendrick tonight. We know he's here with us. We're there with you as well, buddy. We miss you tonight. Zeke Montgomery on the reset. Steps back from 3, and what a start for the Braves offensively.
That's what I talk about. I don't think that was necessarily the play called up, but Zeke Montgomery's ability to create his own shot and recognize, hey, I'm wide open here. This 3-point shot is a good shot. Takes it and knocks it down with confidence.
The Braves regain the lead on the first possession of the half. Here's Lingard to Thomas.
Oh, got away with a little bit of a carry there, got hung up on his hip.
That's multiple efforts on the defensive end, and they give it right back. Thomas for 3. What a sequence for Malik Thomas. Turns it over, gets the steal, then knocks down the triple.
And I'm not sure what Corey Thomas saw there. Davis was right there. Thomas was right there after the turnover, handed it right to him. Never saw him, evidently.
Dean flips it up. Thomas is there to bat it in.
It's so interesting in college basketball. Teams have learned to take advantage of defenses overcommitting to the drive. What happens? The defenders beat, and then the big man comes to help to rim protect. That leaves an offensive rebound open for the offensive team.
It doesn't count as an assist, but sometimes it almost works as well.
It feels that way, though. Teams have learned to take advantage of that over helping on the defensive end.
Montgomery buries another 3.
And we talk about the infectious nature of it. Zeke Montgomery has the ability to get hot at any point in time. I talked about it in the first half. Felt like this is his style of play so far here in the second half, taking advantage.
He came into this one tied for 5th in the nation in 3-point percentage with his teammates. And he's 3 for 3 tonight from beyond the arc. He's got the Braves up 3 here in the second half.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs a big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy.
Choose Flex Buy on F-150 and get 1.9% for 66 months plus 1,000 Flex Buy cash and 1,000 holiday bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
There's one quality we all want from an auto repair shop. Honesty, right? At Peoria Tire and Vulcanizing, everything we do is to earn your trust. Whether changing your car's oil, putting new tires on your tractor, or maintaining your commercial vehicles, we do it with integrity at Peoria Tire, like we've done for 100 years. Give us a call right now, and we'll get you set up with an appointment. Honesty, the original way to do business. From the original Peoria Tire.
I started in 1951 when I was 14 years old. A gentleman by the name of Joe O'Brien, he told me, he said, I've had planes, I've had motorhomes, I've had big houses, I've had little houses, Wayne. He said, I've had everything that I've ever wanted, but he said, I've never appreciated anything more than a motorcycle. You get on it, you go where you want to go, and you don't have to answer to anybody. Sometimes you can call it work, other times it's just a pleasure to do what you do every day.
Welcome to the Playground Showdown. On today's field, we have Mom versus her pint-sized powerhouse Timmy. Mom takes off like a blur, and oh, looks like she's hurt her foot, and is now showing us an impromptu dance.
Whether your game is on the basketball court or the playground, get back to it with world-class orthopedic care. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics, official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics. Find care now at osfhealthcare.org/orthocare.
Back here in Peoria, and since 1907, we've been One Valley, united institutions with common goals, breaking down barriers and building up communities. MVC student athletes are leaving a lasting impact in the places they call home by sharing diverse perspectives and fostering a climate of unity for future Valley pioneers. We are One Valley. 33-30 is the score. Bradley on top of San Francisco. If you're just joining us, the Dons had a 2-point lead at the intermission. The Braves, and namely Zeke Montgomery, have gone on a run over the last couple of minutes. That spurned a timeout from Chris Gerlifson and the Dons, as Zeke now leading all Bradley scores with 11, coming off a 12-point game against Santa Clara, threatening to eclipse that here tonight. He's been great here to start the half.
Well, it's always interesting. You talk about adjustments leading up to this game, but there's also adjustments within the game. It feels like Bradley so far here early in the second half is taking advantage of San Francisco's overhelping, and so they're basically giving it to players that have that ability to create on their own, or as San Francisco overhelps, they're finding the open man in those rotations.
Thomas, step back three. Not this time. And it goes to Wong using that length. Power dribbles in to Williams, able to save it back to Wong, and 10 to shoot for the Dons. Here's Ryan Beasley. He slipped a little bit in the corner. Side step on a three for Wong, no, and Dean tracks it down. Long defensive possession for the Braves, but a successful one. Here's Dean. Waving off Corey Thomas. There's Hannah. Looking for Thomas, who's posting up. Instead, Hannah gives to Davis. In the corner, Dean gets his man in the air and makes him pay with a three.
That's what I'm talking about. It feels like Bradley's found a little something with their offense. They're taking advantage of San Francisco overhelping. That time they surgically moved the ball, found the weakness, and took advantage.
Biggest lead of the night for the Braves at 6. Williams gets a step, bounces it through the fingertips of O'Donnell, and Davis comes away with the steal.
And now you're starting to build a run here for Bradley. They get a defensive stop, see if they can build upon the lead.
To Hannah. Muscles one up. Off left. O'Donnell the rebound.
O'Donnell's been very good, been physical with Darius Hannah, has not allowed him to get any type of rhythm on the offensive end. Great block there by Corey Thomas in transition.
I was going to say, I think Thomas got a piece of that. He did.
Here's the mismatch here.
Yes, certainly.
Beasley on Montgomery.
Let's see if he gets any help. One-on-one. Montgomery fades. And O'Donnell the board.
I think he could have taken another dribble, but maybe back him in a little bit more. Beasley does a nice job on the defensive end.
Williams on the stutter step. Low block touch for O'Donnell, backing his way on Thomas. Baby hook, and he gets the bounce.
Interesting there. O'Donnell uses the offhand with a little push off to create separation. No call.
First bucket of the night for O'Donnell. Step back three for Dean.
A little bit of a heat check there by Duke Dean. Has that ability, has the green light at all times, much like the San Francisco player, Malik Thomas.
Thomas, 11 points in the game. Montgomery the rebound. Stepping into a 17-footer is Hannah.
Not a good shot there by Darius Hannah. Really, Bradley's been successful moving the ball on the defensive end. Got a walk. Or are they going to call a foul?
They're going to get Hannah first.
And that's big. That's his third foul.
That's a tough one. On Hannah, picks up his third. A timeout. We'll take it with him. 14:42 to go. Braves with a 4-point lead.
Ever since I tried Hidden Valley Ranch, I finally found what I've been looking for.
Oh my gosh.
I know. How is this stuff so good?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Great days start with great underwear, and Tommy John makes the greatest. We know that when you're free from distractions, anything is possible. That's why everything we make is meticulously crafted from breathable stretch fabric for the perfect fit, including our sleepwear that feels even softer than it looks. When you wake up to Tommy John, each day feels better than the last because greatness is in our very fabric. Go to TommyJohn.com now for 25% off your first order.
Do we have more? I'll check. Punch. Yeah, I'll get more. Uncle Carlos, your heartburn.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to Walgreens.
This is not just your neighborhood Walgreens.
Wild night, wild family.
This is help staying healthy through the holidays. Walgreens.
Four-point lead for the Braves, but trailed by 2 at halftime. You can see Darius Hannah in the middle of that huddle. He just got whistled for his third foul.
Yeah, this has been an extremely physical game so far. A little bit of a cheapie there with all the pushing and shoving that's gone on so far. We talked about it a little bit coming out of halftime. Key players with 2 fouls. Bradley's Darius Hannah picks up his third here with 14:42 in the second half. Remains on the floor, surprisingly.
Yeah, so Darius will stay in. Elmar Allison in for Corey Thomas. They get it into Lingard. It dribbled off of someone's foot. Birch on the floor. Not sure if it was his own or Christian Davis's.
Yeah, Bradley's done a nice job of keeping Malik out of a rhythm. He has not looked comfortable at all this evening. Speaking of uncomfortable, Darius Hannah, much the same.
Yeah, usually with that height and length, Chad, Hannah, is able to get some space and go over people. Not when someone like Lingard.
Well, Lingard, no. I mean, even with Wong in there, I mean, he's been, and O'Donnell, they've thrown a couple different guys at him, being physical with him, pushing him off his normal spots. And today's basketball, it's all about getting to your spot, what you're comfortable with.
Good curl by Thomas, influenced by Hannah. Nicely done.
That's what we're talking
about.
about.
Man down.
You know, Thomas.
Hannah! No, he had it lay in. Good hustle on the other end by Abosi. Sorry, Chad.
No, both teams doing a great job at the rim, protecting without fouling.
By Lingard, and it'll be two shots. That's going to go on Dean, and that's his third.
That's not good. You got two key players for Bradley with 3 fouls early in the second half. I have a feeling it looks like Corey Thomas is coming in. I have a feeling that'll be for Darius Hannah.
3 on the preseason Player of the Year in the Valley is Beasley.
And here comes Jaquan Johnson, likely to take Duke Dean out of the game. Not surprising. Two players, Hannah and Dean, who sometimes like to play a lot with their hands, get cheap fouls, don't want to take a chance here early in the second half. And as we talked about, for Bradley, they've shown with the depth of their bench, they're able to go into the bench and not really lose a lot on the offensive end. But this is a key moment in the game as Bradley now with 2 key players on the bench. Again, San Francisco doing a really nice job of getting into those passing lanes, pushing Bradley out where they're not comfortable. But again, it seems like Bradley has found a little bit more of a rhythm than here in the second half, finding those jump shots falling more regularly.
Yeah, and we said it in the first half, the shots weren't falling in the first half. They had a good look, but the defense, as Lingard can't get it to go, it's tapped right to Abosi, but the defense kept the Braves within striking distance within 2, and now they've gotten warmer with the offensive shot making. And there's a foul on Riley.
We finally got an over the back there. Both teams being very aggressive on the glass. San Francisco seems more so, finally gets a call against them. If an official's not going to call it, you keep playing and keep playing, seeing what you can get away with. San Francisco's played to that very well.
And that will be, the first on the Dons here in the half.
Moving screen on Corey Thomas.
Yep.
And again, that's a cheap one. I'm not sure about that call either.
Minimal contact, but the turnover on the Braves have done a good job of taking care of the ball in the second half. They've also been, we talked about the difference in the first half and second half. 4 threes in the first half, 4 already here in the second half. Just about 40% through this second 20 minutes. Lingard trying to get by Thomas, hits the hardwood.
Yeah, Lingard.
And the Braves got a man down, they can go.
Lingard spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half, has not found any type of rhythm because of not being really much part of this game.
Thomas for 3.
Coach Wardle begging for a foul. Felt like his guy got pushed in the back on an offensive rebound. But again, the officials have allowed the boards to be very, very aggressive. San Francisco has taken advantage, getting a second opportunity there.
And Lingard flushes it and makes it a 3-point game. Johnson gets the ball screen. Thomas squares up. He's going to hand off to Birch with 8 to shoot. Birch uses the ball screen. Steps into one, well short. Williams snatches it out of the air, and he's off and running behind the back. Runs into his own man, floats one up anyway. I think he touched it last. He did, and it'll be Bradley basketball.
Yeah, I think both these teams are looking for a timeout. Long segment there, a little bit sloppy on both ends.
And it sees Bradley with a 3-point lead. 11:06 to go right here on the Valley on ESPN.
Well, put me on the naughty list. This has never happened before. Let's see. And that, people, is why we have Target Circle 360.
Hey, dear! Don't miss anything on your list with unlimited same-day delivery.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Hard to believe you can get all this in just 2 minutes. Well, you know what they say, tasting is believing. Factor, all your meals made easy.
Do we have more? I'll check. Punch.
Yeah, I'll get more. Uncle Carlos, your heartburn.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to Walgreens.
This is not just your neighborhood Walgreens.
Wild night. Wild family.
This is help staying healthy through the holidays. Walgreens.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000 plus out-of-market games and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Tune it up, KD.
Let's run it back.
Think we still got it?
Give me that. I got you. Let's go! Down the chimney.
Now that's the spirit.
I'm ready, I'm ready. Please tell me the camera was on.
And don't forget, Arch Madness takes place March 6th through the 9th at Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Get your all-session tickets now and save $25 by calling 309-677-2625 or order online at bradleybraves.com. Support the Braves and experience the badness. I gotta get on that, Chad. You don't need to do that. You gotta have us commoners actually have to buy their own way to St. Louis, right? You're gonna be broadcasting, having a good time all on your own, and calling some great basketball on top of it.
Well,
hopefully through Sunday.
It makes a great weekend. You know, obviously you want your team to make it to Sunday, but whether or not we're there on Thursday watching in the play-ins and everything, it's just a great weekend of basketball.
Great. They do it right there. It's
they do.
A premier tournament, and I enjoy going every single year, and it'll be here before we know it.
It always, when you get to the conference schedule, it's amazing how fast the year seems to go.
Amit Jonovic into the ball game is contested and blocked away by Lingard.
Again, not used to seeing another 7-footer across from him. Lingard does a nice job of getting up and in the face, blocking that shot.
Going back door for Lingard. Well executed out of the timeout for the Dons, who climb within one.
If you are not strong in this game, you are going to be exposed. That time on the last time down on the offensive end, didn't take the ball strong, and then defensively, Bradley gets caught on the alley-oop, and now San Francisco has momentum. Kind of a wild shot there, but they've got some momentum. Bradley's got to find a way to break this tempo.
Johnson to Jonovic, hands to Dean. Dean, a three. Big shot by Duke Dean.
Huge shot, has not taken many. I think that was his first shot of the half. Or at least, yeah, I think it was his first shot of the half. But he has that ability to be instant offense.
That was 8 for the Braves. Williams on the hesitation, drive and kick. Long tries to answer, can't do it. Dean with his 5th rebound, coming off a 23 3-7 performance against Santa Clara.
San Francisco now 4 of 18 from three-point range. Just have not been able to knock down the three-point shot that has served them so well this year. Nice job here by San Francisco, feeling the momentum, run a backdoor alley-oop for your big man. Try and find a way to get him engaged in this game. Has not played a lot of minutes, was in foul trouble the first half, but that's a good way to get him started.
So here's Montgomery, the senior from Louisville, 81% from the line to begin the year.
Bradley did a nice job of going to him early in this second half, really kind of started to run for them here in this second half. Zeke Montgomery's ability to create his own offense, whether it be from outside or to the basket. Here you're going to see him going to the basket, creates the contact, doesn't get the and one, but 2 shots. Missed the first one, see if he can split them.
Braves as a team come in at a very solid 74% from the line. And Montgomery now leads all scorers in this game with 12 points on 4 of 8 shooting. 3 of 3 from 3. Williams knifing his way through traffic. Riley takes it away from Hannah. Crowd wanted over the back, didn't get it.
Well, and also it could have been Hannah's 4th foul because it looked like a little extracurricular activity after that.
Dean steps into a 3 and knocks it down.
Tell you what, great recognition. I don't know if he heard them from behind tell him a man was coming, but recognized that the defender was coming and created, and that's the 3rd foul on Thomas for San Francisco. Christian Davis has been a really flexible player for Bradley this year. Sometimes it's with offense, more recently with his defense. He oftentimes guards the other team's most effective player. Tonight it's Malik Thomas. There gets the foul.
We've talked about we've used the word efficiency a lot tonight, whether it comes to offense or defense. It's both for Davis.
Yeah.
Both ends of the floor, an extremely efficient basketball player. And after the Dean 3, forces the turnover, draws the foul.
Well, and one of the knocks on Christian Davis last year was his inconsistency. This year he's been extremely consistent on both ends of the floor, and where he's really improved and helped Bradley so much, wow, that's a heat check, is his defense and his ability to lock down other teams' better players.
Thomas draws the double. It was deflected, finds Beasley. Thomas burst to the basket, stripped by Montgomery, and I think Bradley thought it was off of Thomas's leg.
Wow, the other
and now they're going to
officials
talk
coming
about
in
it.
here, I think that's going to get changed. It
is.
When an official comes running in like that, he saw something. That's great teamwork by the officials, not relying on one, but another one steps in and he saw something that the other official didn't see, just to get it right.
Dean walks it up the timeline. Bradley enjoying their largest lead of the evening, and Dean was thinking Montgomery would still be there. He was not, and the Braves turn it right back over to the Downs.
Zeke Montgomery had done a back cut. Duke Dean thought Darius Hannah was going to pop out, did not. Again, just a kind of lack of thought process in that play creates a careless turnover.
There's Beasley. He's been quiet, still without a field goal. Riley has been impressive tonight. Beasley back to Riley. His wing 3 is nowhere near.
Wow.
Stays with San Francisco.
It
but
is a battle underneath
really
on the glass
is.
on both ends.
We love to see it. That didn't touch the rim, so the Dons will have 4.4 on the clock. When we come back, 7:36 to go in the game. It's the Braves by 8.
This is ludicrous.
Ludicrous. All right, who called for ludicrous?
Sorry,
we went, this is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't tell ludicrous what's ludicrous. Ludicrous tells you what's ludicrous.
Okay.
Oh, that is ludicrous. You don't need me for this. Hang on. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Good thing you have State Farm. Just file a claim on the app or call us.
Guess I can go. Don't you mean roll out? No, I don't.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to the Playground Showdown. On today's field, we have Mom versus her pint-sized powerhouse Timmy. Mom takes off like a blur, and oh, looks like she's hurt her foot and is now showing us an impromptu dance.
Whether your game is on the basketball court or the playground, get back to it with world-class orthopedic care. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare and Great Plains Orthopedics, official sports medicine providers for Bradley Athletics. Find care now at osfhealthcare.org/orthocare.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs a big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy.
Choose Flex Buy on F-150 and get 1.9% for 66 months plus 1,000 Flex Buy cash and 1,000 holiday bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
.736 to go. Bradley has extended their lead to 8. They were down 2 at the break. Just the 4th game this year they've trailed at halftime, but they've opened things up offensively. It was the defense that allowed them to stay close in the early half. And again, the 7th matchup ever between these two programs. BU leads 4-2 all time, but you have to go back to 1981 since the last time these two teams met, and San Francisco won that one 87-82. So big revenge game for the Braves. They got to avenge that loss from 1981.
Yeah, big revenge game. And also, ironically, last year, if not for a late jump shot in the NIT, these two teams would have played in the NIT.
They get it away, and it banks in a 3.
What a throw up. Literally. Came off the screen, really never got squared, but great finish there by, oh, there's got to be a foul, I was going to say. And that's Lingard. Great move by Darius Hannah. He does a nice job of this. He'll fake the handoff and basically create a lane for himself to the basket. Lingard completely beat, fouls him from behind. But good move there by Darius Hannah. Trying to get himself engaged in this game offensively, has struggled with the Dons' size and length.
First one is good. He has 3 points for Bradley tonight. O'Donnell and Wong back in for Lingard and Abosi.
Lingard goes out with his 3rd foul. Thomas also has 3. Again, we talked about the foul trouble. Both teams, key players, Lingard and Thomas for San Francisco, Hannah and Dean for Bradley, all with 3 fouls. Maybe a little bit of an attrition game as we get late into this game, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays into it.
As it stands, 6-point game. There's Beasley, who just banked in a 3 moments ago. Has it blocked by Atlason, who also gets the rebound. The Braves will push. Here's Hannah backing in on Wong, uses the left, and the harm.
Yeah, great. He struggled with the physicality. He must have heard me there, because he was the one who created the physicality and got the foul and won against Wong. Again, sometimes players just need to see the ball go through the basket. Got to see it last time with the free throws. Now all of a sudden, Darius Hannah engaged in this game. Better late than never.
What a sequence by the Braves. Atlason gets the block and the rebound. Quickly outlets it to Dean. The Braves push it. Hannah gets the and one, and just like that, it's a 6-0 run and a 9-point lead for the Braves.
And now the Bradley fan base has gotten into this game, which again seems to feed this Bradley basketball team on the defensive end.
Thomas, downhill, jump
ball.
ball.
Again, technique. Zeke Thomas goes into the with 2 hands, and because of that, no foul call, gets the jump ball.
6 to shoot for the Dons. It is Marcus Williams, who is scoreless here in the second half. The Braves have done a really good job on personnel recognition in this ball game. In particular, in the second half, Thomas and Williams, the leading scorers for the Dons, just a combined 3 here in half number 2.
It feels like Bradley's done a better job of controlling the penetration by those two guys. They're very good at getting to the basket, which creates the offense for others, and that three-point shot. They've not been able to do it as effectively here tonight.
No good from Wong, and Allison a strong rebound. Montgomery looking for Hannah posting up. He's pushed off the block. And
trying
now
to
gets
get the ball to Darius Hannah, take advantage of a mismatch.
And they got him. There's a flop. They let it go. Hannah lays it in.
Yeah, surprising they let that play through. Did look like a flop, but they let it finish.
Timeout, San Francisco, as the lead has ballooned to double digits. Here in Peoria, we will keep it here for you. And a really good response and effort, by the Braves. We talked about the response after the loss against Santa Clara and how good this team is after falling to defeat in the previous contest. And I think to me what stands out, and you can reflect on this too, Chad, is just the Braves on the defensive end, the rebounding, the physicality has been just a lot better tonight than maybe it was last game and some other, the Washington State game, for example.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can take that back to the coach and scheme, because Coach Wardle is big on challenging players. There were guys that did not, he even said, did not show up for that game against Santa Clara. Some of our best players, stars. Darius Hannah, I believe, was one of the guys he was talking to. And tonight, while he struggled against the physicality early, all of a sudden he's gotten into a rhythm, and now they're starting to feed the beast, going to him 3 straight times.
Yeah, and it's really helped open things up. And against a San Francisco team that is very physical, a lot of size, and quite frankly, just very good. And the Braves, at least to this point, have been up to the challenge and then some. As let's see what the Dons do out of the timeout. Williams finds Wong in the lane. He steps in. He's been in there for a while. He goes up and he's fouled.
Oh, wow. And that's number 4 on Darius Hannah. We just talked about how important he had been. And that's a tough one with the physicality of this game and what has been allowed to go on. I will say this, it seems like officiating in physical games, you can be as physical as you want down low. But once the player gets into their shot, oftentimes they're going to get the call. There, I think that's what the official calls. Is that physicality at time of shot.
It's Barry Wong, the sophomore at 6'9", has 4 points for the Dons, but the Braves have really made him work for it. He's just 1 of 10 from the floor. Make it 5. Back to a 9-point game as Abosi's going to come in for San Francisco, and they're going to provide a little pressure here.
As physical as this game has been, Bradley has 4 fouls compared to San Francisco has 5 fouls. So really not, the officials have allowed them to play, which is what you want for both these teams, is let them decide it between players. Don't let the officiating get into it.
Montgomery gets the ball screen. They get it to Allison on the post up.
Trying to explore the mismatch.
And he does. He just couldn't finish.
Just didn't finish. Great move. Just didn't finish at the rim. That's a moving screen by O'Donnell. Gets away with it.
Skips it in the corner. Abosi hesitates, drives in. No look to Williams. Spot up 3 is good. And a whistle and a foul.
And they're going to call Corey Thomas on a push-off, which is ironic because O'Donnell's the one who's been really creating the contact underneath. And yet Thomas is the one that gets the foul here. I think you're going to see the 3. Thomas does chuck him there a little bit. Maybe a little gamesmanship by O'Donnell, but officials are actually going to take a look at this on the monitor.
See if there's anything that's too malicious on Thomas. So the basket counts. And the foul was not on the shot attempt itself,
correct.
But
so
in
what
the
it
shooting
does
motion.
Is it'll create another possession for San Francisco. So have the ability to knock down 5-6 points opportunity on this way down the court. I don't think anything malicious. He did chuck him. The arm came up. The question is, did that elbow get up to face level? Don't think it did, but they'll review it, and we'll see.
So a mini run for the Dons. It was a 11-point Bradley lead.
Well, and remember the fourth foul by Darius Hannah. That was when all of a sudden things changed a little bit. Bradley had the momentum. Now he has to go to the bench for this fourth foul. And now San Francisco has kind of created a little bit of a mini run here, as you said.
As Williams, his first points of the half. Big ones. He's now got 10 on 4 of 11 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. And they're still looking at it.
They're taking a lot of time. Again, the elbow comes up almost to face level. That's the question. Does it get high enough to be considered flagrant?
And San Francisco in their first true road contest of the year at 9-2. The Braves 4-0 here in Peoria to begin the year, riding a 6-game winning streak overall going back to last season. Bradley 8-2 overall, 1-0 in Valley play. They'll be at home against Canisius on Saturday. That'll wrap up non-conference play. And then they'll welcome in the Beacons of Valparaiso just before the new year to restart Valley play as the officials are conferring away from the monitor. And let's see what we get. Let's see if they come over and have a little chat with us about what's about to go down. I think they're going to check the monitor.
They're going to go back to it again. Evidently a little bit of indecisiveness trying to decide whether it is or it is not.
The Dons on the other end, they'll also wrap up conference play on Saturday.
They're going to call it a flagrant one. I just read the lips of the official telling the San Francisco Dons coach they're going to call that a flagrant one.
So this is going to create.
So this is not, they already had possession again.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get an extra free throw. So you have potentially a 4-point game. So what they're saying is, now the question is, Malik Thomas wants to take the shot, but because the foul was committed against O'Donnell,
it's not a technical.
It's not a technical.
It's a flagrant.
So O'Donnell has to be the one to take the foul shot.
Which the Braves would prefer just based on what
percentages.
The match, yeah. O'Donnell's trying to make sure that's not the case, but he comes up empty on the first. He'll get one more. Corey Thomas charged with the flagrant one. 1 of 2 for O'Donnell, and it's a 5-point game. So 5:06 to go.
So
and
far,
it'll be San Francisco basketball.
So
4-point possession.
4-point possession. Can they add more?
Seven to go. Williams driving baseline, comes to a stop, floats one up, doesn't touch anything.
And O'Donnell again in there in the action, knocks it out of bounds.
Good work defensively by the Braves, because that could have been up to a 7-point possession if San Francisco was able to score 3 additional ones there. As it stands, it's a 5-point lead for the Braves. And Dean off the screen, popping to the corner and fading is Montgomery. He'll receive the screen from Jonovic. He's doubled in the corner. He needs help. Brian Wardle signaling for timeout. He gets it.
Yeah, but the problem is where he's located. You're going to take the ball out in the corner. And as a coach, that's the worst place to be for 2 reasons. Both sideline and baseline are defenders, but also you're going to be throwing the ball towards your opponent's basket.
We'll see what they draw up here out of the timeout with 4:26 to go. Braves leading by 5.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
NyQuil Vapor Cool?
It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks Vapors.
NyQuil Vapor Cool, the vaporizing nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, best sleep with a cold medicine.
From dress the bird to deck the halls. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
BK Melts. Wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
.426 to go. This one's still to be decided, but we'll give you our Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois player of the game anyway, and it's Zeke Montgomery leads all scorers with 12.
Yeah, really, this has been such a tight game. Any type of run created, and Zeke Montgomery came out of halftime and really got Bradley going in the second half, allowed them to get out to that 8-9 point lead, create some separation until his teammates could get going.
He really helped kickstart this Bradley offense in the second half. Duke Dean certainly supplemented as well. He's got 11 points for the Braves. Pair of threes as well in this second half. The Braves have led by as many as 11 points in this half. And out of the timeout, let's see what they draw. If they do get it on the baseline and they get a jumper from Montgomery, Davis and Jonovic, same team, and it ends up being wrestled away by Thomas.
Unfortunately, Davis and Jonovic took it away from one another, and USF ends up with the ball.
Trying to make it a one-possession game, but still over 4 to go, so plenty of time. But here's Beasley. Zips it over to Abosi, back to Beasley. Here's Thomas, and he lost it, able to save it in with 7 to shoot. A wild shot by Abosi, and nearly baked it in, but it's Dean the rebound. Streaking is Atlason in the corner, Davis, and they recognize him as a shooter.
Wisely pull it out to set up offense, drain a little time off the clock, get something within the offense. And what better than Duke Dean to come off the screen. Again, has the green light at any time and knocks a big one down there.
Huge three from Dean, back to an 8-point game, blocked on the other end. It'll stay with USF.
Yeah, it's not very often, but it looks like Montgomery got a piece of that. Atlason got a piece of that. Great team defense. Montgomery beat initially off the drive, but good help and recovery by Bradley.
Dean now with a game high 14, 7 rebounds as well for Duke Dean as Jonovic comes out, Thomas back in. And when the Braves really needed a bucket, Duke Dean's able to get one. Let's see if they can get a stop at the other end. Instead, it's Beasley who answers from the wing.
Beasley, his ability to knock down shots, talked about freshman of the year last year, coming off the bench for this Don team this year, but wow, he is able to knock down a big shot there.
Thomas, I beg your pardon, Montgomery, it's a jump ball,
I
believe.
the tie-up.
Yep, it'll stay with Bradley with 9 to shoot.
Again, it's that technique. Goes in with 2 hands, does Malik Thomas. When you go in with the 2 hands, it seems like the technique has changed over the years. Usually it used to be slap up, not down, because down was automatically a foul. Now it's slap period is a foul. But the 2-hand technique of going in after the ball is oftentimes rewarded.
He leads the team with 24 steals. Does Thomas in his first 2 years at USC? Jonovic, who just entered back in slams it home.
Great play by Bradley. They overplay. Duke Dean going to the corner, which allows Jonovic to spin to the basket.
They got a man down. Davis over to help as Jonovic recovers.
San Francisco feels like they need a bucket here. Can't allow this to get away from them.
Spinning as Thomas goes up, no. Dean in transition. Let's see if he zip it to Davis. They do. Good ball movement around the horn. And the Braves will pull it back out.
Nothing there. Didn't have transition, so you pull it up, out, set up your offense.
High ball screen. Opposite goes Dean. The pick and roll. Jonovic.
They're going to call a block
Blocking
there.
foul.
On Beasley.
Talk about
That's
taking punishment. You go up against the 7-1 guy, and then you get the blocking foul on top of it.
Well, and Lingard's on the floor down here. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's taking an 8 count, and it looks like he's holding his head.
Hopefully he's all right. He's able to get
I don't know
up.
if he got poked in the eye or if he took a shot to the head or what. Looks like he's kind of at his eye.
Yeah. And he'll head to the bench here. It'll be Bradley basketball out of bounds underneath. That's the 16th foul on the Dons. Bradley with 5. Braves in the bonus now for the remaining 2:09. Dean calling for it. It's Atlason.
Short.
Tipped up, no. Hannah gets it up. He has it blocked by O'Donnell.
Yeah, that played into the hands of O'Donnell. Hannah, a left-hander, basically goes right into the shot blocking of O'Donnell.
Williams, one dribble and a 3, and it's a 4-point game.
And basically a big shot there. I believe it was by Williams, knocking down, taking advantage. Coach Wardle, I think, wants a timeout here.
Timeout taken by Bradley. As San Francisco has inched within 4 after the second 3 of the half by Marcus Williams, who averages 12 points per game. He's a 48% three-point shooter. All WCC first team last year. He spent some time at Wyoming, Texas A&M as well, and he's trying to keep the Dons within striking distance. And we'll see what the Braves do out of the timeout here, Chad.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less from what we've seen of this game. A back-and-forth battle. You know, the Dons basically led most of the first half. Bradley has led most of the second half, but neither team has really been able to get away from each other. Bradley got it out to 8 or 9 points, but give credit to this San Francisco Don team. They did not give up. They've gotten some stops and gotten themselves back into this game. And if they get a stop here, now it becomes interesting.
I know fans watch and say, oh, 57-53, kind of low scoring, but these two teams can be so good defensively. They're great at making other teams look not so great, and I wouldn't even say that was the case tonight, but this is a really good competitive basketball game. High-level teams, high-level programs, and we're in store for a good finish with 90 seconds to go.
Which team's going to blink here in the last 90 seconds? I mean, this is, you know, who's going to be weak on a play? Who's going to be stronger on a rebound?
Dean thought about it, 9 to shoot, pick and roll, Hannah goes up, and he draws the foul.
They call a foul on Beasley. I don't like how officials wait to make a call these days. It's a foul or it's not a foul. Because that one looks like Beasley got him early, probably was a foul. But, tell you what, Beasley thinks otherwise. He thinks he got all ball there.
So in any event, it'll be Hannah to the line.
2 shots. Has greatly improved upon his free throw shooting during his career at Bradley. Started out in the 40s his freshman year and has gotten up into the mid to upper 60s. And this is final year, and I gave him the free throw jinx, which I hate.
So misses the first. Hannah, 1 of 2.
Bradley brings a little pressure here, tries to slow him down, make him use a little clock, but San Francisco attacks.
Beasley for 3.
And what do you do when you attack? When you break the press, you now have the advantage And these San Francisco Dons have really attacked and got a three-point basket the easy way there.
2-point game, under a minute to go. Here's Dean. Receives the screen from Atlason, 10 to shoot. Now Hannah sets up the screen. Dean tries to answer, and does!
Whoa!
Three on the other, and that's good!
Neither team is blinking right now. You don't have time to celebrate, because I'll tell you what, these teams are coming back at each other.
Like a heavyweight fight.
Wow. What more could you ask for?
One haymaker after another.
What more can you ask for in a college basketball game?
2-point game, still almost 38 seconds left to go. So there's a 7.5 differential shot clock to game clock. Of course, they're not going to foul right away, and it just begs the question, do they just let it play out all the way and try to get a rebound, because you still have that, 7 seconds or so. So that's something that the Dons are going to have to decide on.
So there's some options. So obviously you can slow play this, play it out.
Yep.
That only gives you have to stop them on the defensive end. So in my mind, you're going to probably try for a steal, but you're going to be overly aggressive on the defensive end. And if you foul, you foul. And if you foul, you extend the game. If you allow too much time to run off the clock and they score, you've basically taken yourself out of the game.
You get a look at this last sequence.
That was Duke Dean with the first three-point shot. And then coming down, I believe it was Williams that knocked it down here from the wing on the second one. Tell you what, both these teams, no quit, all fight.
This one has lived up to the billing. We knew this really going into the season, that this could be a phenomenal matchup, and it's turned out to be exactly that. Two teams, as I said right at the top, with high aspirations to compete for a conference championship.
So if you're Bradley, you do not want to catch the ball in the corner. Try and avoid the corners as much as possible, because that's where the double team will come, and San Francisco will try and use their size and length.
The Braves do have one timeout left, none left for the Dons.
No fouls to give for San Francisco.
There's the foul, and they're going to force Hannah to try to beat them at the line.
We just talked about it. He's a 60-plus, I think 67, 68% free throw shooter. He just split 2 the last time down. Now, key for him to hit 1. You want to make it a full possession game. You don't want to, the way the Dons have knocked down the 3 here as of late, you don't want them to hit a late 3. But most importantly, hit the first one. And then the second one, you push it out to 2 possessions.
So Hannah, the senior from Milwaukee, he's 3 of 5 from the line tonight. First one is down.
Not a more difficult free throw in basketball than the 1-and-1. You've just split your free throws. You still have it fresh in your mind. Knocks down a big one right there.
And now can make it a 2-possession game. Still feels like a lifetime to go. And two clutch free throws by Darius Hannah.
Now they bring pressure, but again, remember, San Francisco broke it easily last time, got a wide open look. Bradley gives more token pressure this time down.
Williams goes underneath, zings it to Beasley. That's blocked by Hannah. Saved by Atlason. And Dean is fouled.
Wow. Darius Hannah, after making the big free throws, goes flying to the corner for that blocked shot. And then Almar Atlason flies to the ball to save it into Duke Dean, who gets fouled. Amazing play. Multiple efforts. The block there by Darius, and then Atlason flying to the ball for the rebound, and then to get it to Duke Dean, who gets fouled, even bigger.
He's 15 of 17 from the line this year. This is his first trip tonight. Still 1 in the bonus. And there's the 1.
Now you got to think Coach Wardle's thinking no threes, no threes. Everything has to be to the basket. Still want to play solid defense.
6-point game. What clutch free throws by the veterans, Hannah and Dean. Williams.
Don't foul.
Here they do.
Coach Wardle saying we want that on the floor. We had a foul to give.
Yeah.
And that time they get him on the shot. So instead of taking advantage of the foul that you had to give, now you're allowing San Francisco to score with the clock stopped and to set their defense.
So Williams, who's come alive in the last couple of minutes after being quiet for much of the second half, he now has 17 points after that free throw. Riley back in, as well as Beasley, and that's Robbie Beasley, who's in the senior.
Riley comes in for USF to add more length to the defense.
Again, no timeouts remaining for the Dons. They also have 19 fouls, so the next one will send the Braves to the double bonus. And no pressure, and that's why they have Riley the length on the ball, and now they switch it up. They get it into Dean, and they turn it over. Here's Beasley, shovels to Williams, reverse, he missed it. Added out. Beasley, Williams, three, no. Out of bounds, Bradley basketball.
Fortunate there. I don't know what happened on the sideline. It looked like Almar Allison actually tripped over his own feet and fell as he was throwing the ball in bounds. Wow.
Catch your breath there, but it's 6.1 to go. It'll be Bradley ball. Whew.
A little bit sloppy on the inbounds there by Bradley. Gets away with it. Just again, multiple efforts on the defensive end. Christian Davis does enough there to challenge the bucket. Montgomery challenges the three. Again, multiple efforts, and luckily for Bradley, the ball goes out of bounds. And now San Francisco has to get a quick steal, or they got a foul and try and extend.
Yeah, again, though.
But time is not in their favor now.
No, certainly not.
But with that one shot, it really could have changed everything.
Yeah, Williams had the great look on the reverse layup, just couldn't quite finish. They get a second attempt at a three, missed everything, and landed out. Now the Braves are essentially just an inbounds pass in away from coming away with the win.
Kind of funny watching the officials' body language. The one was actually showing the tripping motion by Almar Allison as he fell, as he was running the baseline, kind of tripped over his own feet. I think they were trying to decide, did he step in bounds? Did he not step in bounds?
And one thing to note here is that he cannot run the baseline now because this is a dead ball situation, not after a make, so he's stationary.
Correct.
And the official's telling that
yeah,
literally right
that
now.
Out. And maybe based upon the last segment, that's not a bad thing.
So Atlason again to inbound. Montgomery's getting held, and they get it into Davis, and there's the whistle and the foul.
Quick foul.
So Christian Davis, who clocks in at 83% from the line, will try to ice it for the Braves and cap off this wild final 5 minutes here in Peoria.
What a great college basketball game. Oh. Two teams just battling at it, no one really blinking. Oh.
5-point game.
Almost said that a little too soon. Don't foul.
Thomas, just let him go. He knocks it down, but it doesn't matter. Wow. Chad, you said it. What an outstanding college basketball game, and it's the Bradley Braves
And actually, the officials have not called it. They're saying we want to make sure
that there's no time
that
left.
There's no time. The ball looked like it went through the net with the zeros on, but they just want to be sure, get it right, just to make sure no time on the clock. It looked like from our vantage point it went through the net with 0, but we'll see it here. Malik Thomas, again, the Dons' ability to knock down the 3 late in the game, but with no time on the clock here.
They've called it. It's over. Bradley wins 66-64. Like we said, just a very competitive basketball game between two high-level teams, two high-level programs that are going to be quite the nuisance for opponents this entire season, Chad. And in the end, we said at the time Bradley was down by 2.5, but you liked the way they competed. They liked the way they played defensively. We know what they're capable of offensively. That shined its light at parts in the second half, and as a result, they were able to overcome the Dons for the win.
Yeah, no question. Again, a Bradley team that needed a win after a tough loss against Santa Clara comes back, uses the home court, led by Zeke Montgomery in the second half, knocking the shot down there. But their ability to do just enough offensively kind of outlasted the Dons here late to get the victory.
Well, that's going to wrap it up from Carver. Once we both catch, we might sit in these chairs for a while after this. This is the catch my breath. That was fun. A lot of fun.
I'm not used to talking this much on the radio, by the way.
Well, we hope you had a great time. It was a great game, so enjoyed working with you again, Chad. A great one and a great result tonight for the Braves. So that'll wrap it up from Carver Arena. So for my partner tonight, Chad Klein, and everyone in our production crew always does a phenomenal job. I'm Brian Vito saying so long from Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria. Again, the final. It's the Bradley Braves 66, the San Francisco Dons 64. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
Mm-hmm.